What's going on, man?
Yo, what's up?
What's up?
I can't believe I suckered somebody into debating me about Nintendo is for kids and take the Nintendo side.
What?
I can't believe I suckered somebody into debating me about the fact that Nintendo is for kids and to take the Nintendo side. So thank you for that.
Yeah, sure. So, go ahead and make your first point as to why Nintendo is only for kids.
Why is it only for kids? I wouldn't say it's only for kids, but it's pretty much a product.
Well, if it's not only for
children.
kids, that right there destroys your argument. Period.
Well, not really, because if he's put about 4,000 or 5,000 titles out, and 98% of them are for children, you can pretty much say that the console's for kids.
But one, it's not 98%, and two, your statement was Nintendo is for kids. You didn't say mostly. You didn't say the majority. You said Nintendo is for kids.
Well, it is. So what would you say is the percentage? 97%?
I'd say about I'd say probably like 50-50, because look at Zelda.
Stop it! You know that's not true.
Think about it. Look at Zelda. Do you think that a company would make a 70-hour game for some kids?
That game's not 70 hours.
Skyward Sword is 70 hours.
With 60 hours of pumpkin fetching and padded fetch quests.
That is not a rebuttal. I'm sorry.
That is not a rebuttal?
That's not a rebuttal.
It's 60 hours of padded fetch quests.
Saying you hunt for pumpkins.
You know it is.
Saying you hunt for pumpkins isn't. That's not a rebuttal. I'm sorry.
You're not fetching pumpkins in that game?
The point is, you don't make games. You do, but that's not debunking anything. The point is, you don't make a game that long for kids, and that's factual. Kids for games are short. Is that true? Skyward Sword is not. The guy is saying Skyward Sword is short, y'all. A Zelda game.
It's padded fetch quests that you don't need to do to complete the game. It's an RPG for kids.
Even then.
Every game Nintendo puts out.
No, wait, hold up. Even in that case.
For kids. Kid Icarus is God of War for little kids.
Even in that case, listen to what you said. You said it's an RPG. RPGs aren't really. They're not a little kid genre. Period. So if Skyward Sword is an RPG, then that would make it not for kids.
You see, that's the beauty of it. That's where you're kind of right when you say Nintendo innovates. They're taking a genre that's for adults and making it for little kids, i.e. Zelda.
So
I'll give you that one.
So what you're telling me is that if a developer makes a 70-hour game, it's for kids.
It's not a 70-hour game. Let's be for real.
It's a 70-hour game.
It is more like a 12-hour game?
It's a 70-hour game.
Padded fetch quests?
It's a 70-hour game.
Padded fetch quests. How long could Mario Galaxy be?
What's...
You went and you fetched all the stars and found all the Luigis and all that other crap.
After you get all the extra green stars, that could last you like 20 hours, dude.
That's not for kids?
20 hours is a long time.
Well, I've got. So you're saying that that's not for kids? It's a long time. The game lasts a long time. That's not for kids. That game?
Yes, because developers do not make games extremely long games for kids. That's just a simple fact.
So let me make this clear. Mario Galaxies aren't for kids.
No.
Wow.
They appeal to kids. It's made with. So it's called
for kids.
It appeals to kids, and so does Call of Duty.
They're built for kids. Yes, it does. I'm starting to be well aware
It's
of
built.
that.
No. Listen, there's a difference. It's built to include kids. It's built to be kid accessible, but there's also things in there for the older gamer. That's why there's the challenge levels, and that's why the length of the game is so long.
Why is it so easy?
And that's why there's post-game content.
Well, why is it so easy?
It's not easy. After you get through the first couple, after you get past the first couple of levels, it is not easy.
I'm no professional gamer. Like there's games that that you probably think are easy that to me would be difficult. So when I say that game is easy, that those games are easy, they are extremely.
So Call of Duty is easy. So Call of Duty is made for kids?
I'm starting to think yes, it is. To be honest with you, and I'm glad that you compare games.
Well,
like
okay. So if Call of Duty is made for kids, then that pretty much says anything is made for kids. Because that's shooting people in the face, which is Killzone 2 as well. If Call of Duty is made for kids, then Killzone is made for kids, then Infamous is made for kids, because you're blasting people with electrical powers. It's a superhero. That appeals to kids, so Infamous must be made for kids.
Well, you're kind of right. I mean, it is a sort of comic book video game.
So, okay, so
and comic books are for kids.
So essentially what you're saying, if those games are made for kids, then every game is made for kids. So you have no argument.
Every game is made for kids. Is Heavy Rain made for kids?
No, you said that. I'm not saying I didn't say that.
I mind playing that game. Is Skyrim made for kids?
Yes, because kids play it. It appeals to
Skyrim
kids. You said listen. I'm going off of your logic. You said Call of Duty is made for kids because it appeals to kids. Skyrim appeals to kids. Kids play Skyrim. So according to your logic, Skyrim was made for kids.
So you're doing that little Nintendo fanboy trick of like, oh, if you're saying this, then that means it's for everything. Well, no, that's not true at all. You're just twisting words around to kind of make a point.
No. The thing is, it goes both ways. You can't just have it one way. If that game appeals to kids, if that game is kiddie because it appeals to kids, then you got to apply that to everything else.
Oh, I never said that was the only reason.
Oh, well, that's the only one. That's the only one you listed. If you have some more reasons, go ahead and give some more reasons. By all means.
How about the difficulty, the ease of difficulty, the fact that there's no difficulty settings?
Game is difficult to begin with.
Game is not difficult.
Go look up some footage of the green stars in Super Mario Galaxy 2. Go play. There's difficulty settings on Skyward Sword. There's difficulty settings on Smash Bros. Brawl. There's difficulty settings on Metroid. Fire Emblem is one of the hardest RPG franchises in existence. All Nintendo IPs with difficulty levels.
Wait a minute, you just glossed over this green star thing. Isn't pretty much the game over at that point?
It's hard before that. I'm just saying that's the hardest point. I'm just saying go look at that.
It's not hard before that. And none of those games
it's challenging.
Were very difficult at all.
Well, no, but your argument was they lack difficulty settings, and so I listed Nintendo games that had difficulty settings. So what's your argument now?
The majority of them do not.
The majority, Metroid, Smash Bros, Fire Emblem.
When I'm making a point saying, the majority
Advanced
or most of them,
Advance
I'm
Wars.
talking about the majority of 4,000 or 5,000 titles, and you're bringing up a list of like 4 or 5.
No, I'm listing franchises that have many games in those franchises. So I'm listing 4 or 5 franchises, but essentially I'm listing 30 games.
You yourself compared Mario Galaxy to Call of Duty, did you not?
Only because you said it appeals to kids because it's easy. So I said that must mean that Call of Duty is made for kids since it appeals to them.
Oh, I thought it was because, you know how people say that Call of Duty is a rehash, that it's nothing but map packs, Modern Warfare 2.5 and whatever. I thought that's why you compared it to Mario Galaxy. Did you know how Mario Galaxy is pretty much the exact same thing? Mario Galaxy 2, Mario Galaxy 1.5.
Yeah, and I don't own Super Mario Galaxy 2.
What games do you own?
I don't own that.
What games do
so
you own?
it's not me. It's not me being hypocritical because I don't own Super Mario Galaxy 2.
What games do you own for the Wii? I'd love to hear this list.
Let me see. Xenoblade, Metroid Prime 3.
So you're the guy that bought Xenoblade.
Yeah, unlike Black Baron, yes.
I just thought it was hilarious about this whole campaign to get Xenoblade, and then guess what? It comes to the States and nobody buys it. Why? Because that's a game for grown-ups.
Sold more than Starhawk.
How many more millions of units of the Wii are there? The fact that they're even close.
It doesn't matter. If you compare the core base of the Wii users to the core base of the PS3 users, there's a lot more core base PS3 users. So there's no excuse for Starhawk not selling more than Xenoblade Chronicles.
What do you mean there's more core-based PS3 users? What does that mean? That Nintendo owners are casual?
That the majority
Is that what you're saying?
that the majority of Wii owners are casual gamers. Yes.
Kids.
Yes, the majority, yes. Yes.
But why is the majority kids? I don't understand that.
Because it has a lot of
Why
games
is
that
the
appeal to
majority-
kids.
Why is the owners kids?
Because it has a lot of games that appeal to kids.
Exactly. And that gets made for kids, made specifically for children.
But the thing is, that's not all it has. That's what you gotta understand.
Let me tell you what those products and the Wii are like. They're like Disney movies.
I can't see
You
the
go to
chat,
a
y'all.
Disney movie, those movies are made for kids. And then guess what? They have a few jokes thrown in for the grown-ups that are taking them to the theaters. That's pretty much what Nintendo is. Something made for kids with a few scraps thrown in for the adults.
So is there something wrong with all those adults seeing those movies?
Is there something wrong with an adult taking
Just,
their kid to go see those movies?
I go to a restaurant. There's a kids menu. So is the restaurant for adults or children?
See, now you're reversing it. You're taking my stance, but the opposite. You see what I'm saying?
That's what you do in a debate.
No. You're not understanding me. See, it's like if you're going to a 5-star restaurant and there's a kids meal or something. There's a difference between
I
going to
say 5
going
star.
to like McDonald's where there's a statue of a clown and a kids playland.
The point is, dude, is that if you want core games on the Wii, you can buy them. They're there.
Your little
You don't have to buy
free.
you don't have to buy the kiddie games. Nobody's forcing you to buy the kiddie games.
If you have a Nintendo and you're not buying the kiddie games, I mean, you're really not buying much. I thought the whole point of owning a Wii, I thought the whole debate Nintendo fans would make is that they didn't care about multiplats and they didn't care about all these games, that they're just there for the Nintendo exclusives. And let's face it, those are kids' games.
Hold up one sec.
No rebuttal to that?
I said hold on one sec. Just want to show the guys in the stream something real fast. And if you still have the stream open, go look at it.
Oh, I'm not at a computer or anything.
Oh yeah, you're on your phone.
I'm not on the phone either.
Oh, what do you want?
I'm on a Vita.
Oh, okay, that's cool. But if you were to see my stream right now, I have this huge stack of Wii games, none of which you would consider, quote, kiddie. Now, you basically implied that if you're not buying the kiddie games, then you don't have much of a Wii library, correct?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Yet, I have in my hand Tatsunoko vs. Capcom, Twilight Princess, Muramasa the Demon Blade, GoldenEye 007, Conduit, Medal of Honor Heroes 2, Xenoblade, Metroid Other M, Red Steel, Metroid Prime Trilogy, Metroid Prime 3, Fire Emblem Radiant Dawn, Monster Hunter Tri, Skyward Sword, No More Heroes 2, No More Heroes 1, Red Steel 2, Mad World, Conduit 2. Do you get the point?
Okay, let's go through some of those games, shall we?
Yeah, sure.
How about Red Steel? Is that a pretty good game?
No.
No, it's awful, isn't it?
The argument here is
Well,
kiddiness.
What is the criteria? We got mature games.
We're
too.
not- this
Sure,
isn't-
they're awful, but they're there.
This
That's
isn't-
your argument.
I had one game in the pile that was terrible.
I'm sure you have many games that are terrible. No More Heroes. Come on.
It's not a terrible game, dude. And that's, I mean, it's really can't be argued because it's an opinion. But I can back up my opinion in saying it's a great game and saying, go look at the review scores. It has a AA score on Metacritic.
Well, if you want to bring up review scores, let's try this. That No More Heroes, that exact same game with better graphics in HD, scored much lower than the Wii version, and it's the exact same game. Do you know why?
Because it came out so much later.
Because when you put that game on a PS3, a system for grown-ups, we just laugh at a game like that. The game's horrible. I used to own No More Heroes 2, the supposedly better version, and that game sucked ass. That's just my opinion.
You're kind of getting off track, bro.
Well, my point is, a lot of Nintendo fans will say, here are these games as a defense, and they're garbage.
Only listed one arguably garbage game.
Well, we go through the list again.
Tatsunoko vs. Capcom.
Okay,
Twilight.
You got a fighting game. It's a good game, but inferior to most of the fighters on the other consoles.
Well,
let's face it, Capcom has better fighters on the other consoles.
Well, yeah, matter of preference. But you said it's a good game, so let's move on. Twilight Princess.
I think the only people that would think that was a better fighter are like Nintendo.
That's you're getting besides the point. But anyways, Twilight Princess.
What's my point?
Twilight Princess.
A GameCube port.
Is it a good game? Yes or no?
You bought a Wii to play GameCube?
No, wait. As a gamer, you're going to sit here and tell me that a Legend of Zelda game is a bad game?
That is a GameCube game.
Is it a bad game? Is it a bad game?
Let's not kid ourselves.
Okay, let's skip it. Muramasa the Demon Blade.
I'm not familiar with that game, so I really can't.
It's from the makers of Odin Sphere. If you know what that is.
I don't even know what kind of game that is.
Just know it's a good game. GoldenEye 007.
That game is probably one of the worst games I've played on the Wii.
You enjoyed it on the PS3 though, didn't you?
It was. How you can make a GoldenEye, and you make it with the current James Bond, and you try to give it current gen graphics, even though it's on the Wii and it looked like shit.
And none that had anything to do with the gameplay or controls.
And the game looked and felt like the Nintendo 64 GoldenEye.
So,
especially the multiplayer.
So I could pretty much see it doesn't matter. The games I list, you're going to pretty much say that they're all bad, right?
No, the games that you're listing are all bad. I'm not going to sit here and be delusional and say every Wii game is horrible. I have a Wii and I have decent games on it, but there's just not enough of those games to warrant purchasing the console.
There is, man. All you gotta do is just educate yourself.
I think what you mean is all you have to do is look in that haystack for those needles.
All you gotta do is click on like the Wii section of M4G or the Wii section of IGN. That's all you gotta do. But people don't do that. Xenoblade Chronicles is arguably what people are saying the best RPG this generation, and it's on the Wii.
I think when Nintendo fans try to rebut arguments like these, they go through a list of games, and they're always the exact same list of like 7 or 8 games.
Like 360.
What fan base doesn't list the same games?
Well, if I listed all these great games from the PS3, my list would probably be different than somebody else's list.
Not really. If you're trying to show somebody that a console has great games, everybody will list all the games.
I mean, I would list a game like not an exclusive, but it damn sure isn't on the Wii. I would list a game like that probably not a lot of people heard about or even liked, but I thought it was awesome.
So you'd pull an MLD?
MLD?
Yes, an MLD.
MLD is a delusional mouth.
But you just said you do something that he did. You said you would list Enslaved. You said you would list a game that's on PS3 but not on Wii, but it's also on 360. A multiplat that's not on Wii. That's exactly what MLD used to do.
What, you go through a list of PS3 exclusives? That would make you feel better. I think Resistance on the Vita is an awesome game.
No one cares.
Okay. You're getting off topic, dude. Like, you're not talking about the points here. You're talking about Resistance on the Vita when we're trying to talk about Wii has good games for more mature gamers.
All these other consoles have so many great games that if you were asking each individual gamer which games they thought were great, they'll give you a list, and each person's list will be kind of different than everybody else's. But for the Wii, they're listing the exact same games out of the damage control handbook.
The exact same.
Not 7 or 8 good ones.
The exact same 30 games? Yeah, sure. But what PS3 fan doesn't say Metal Gear Solid 4, Uncharted 2, Killzone 3?
I hate that game.
I'm saying you can't throw that argument around because every fan base does that. So you're really not making a point, dude.
It's pretty much Nintendo that does that.
No, every fan base does that, man. Let's just be real here. Saying they list the same games.
Nintendo's the only fan base that only has 7 or 8 games to list, and they're the exact same 7 or 8 games.
Yeah, I listed
They're
more.
gonna have Xenoblade. They're all gonna have Zelda. They're all gonna say, "Oh, this isn't kiddie. Look at No More Heroes in Mad World." It's the same list.
Skycrawlers?
Never heard of it.
Exactly. That proves my point exactly. You're just not educated, dude, in the Wii area. I'm not saying you're a failure for that, because you know it's just video games or whatever.
At this point, and now you're looking for games that you'll know. I probably
Have you heard of
heard of.
Deadly Creatures?
I'm not familiar with that game.
Exactly. You didn't know what Murmaster the Demon Blade was either. This proved my points exactly.
I don't think
There's
any
great
gamers
games
that aren't diehard Nintendo fans know these games.
It doesn't matter. They're there. That's the point.
I think that's
They're there and they're good games. And this proves my point exactly. I'm listing games that you don't even know about, and that proves my point exactly. So how you going to talk about a library of a console that you don't even know?
Most people don't know those games because they're needles in that haystack.
Get to know
If you went
them.
to any game store and looked for those games, you probably wouldn't even find them.
Ask them for statistics. Ask them to gather information. Ask them.
That's not refuting anything. You think nobody knows about it? That doesn't matter. They're there. They're there if you want them, and that is the point. You're saying there's not that many hardcore mature games for the Wii. I listed some. You said you didn't know them, and you're arguing that, well, nobody knows about them. Well, that's your fault that you don't know about them.
Your defense is, look, this is a great console with many great titles, but don't bother looking for them in your local stores. You're going to have to hunt these down, and you're going to have to really educate yourself on the library.
You could
That's
go.
what you're saying, right?
You could go to the store right now and buy Metroid and Xenoblade and No More Heroes 2.
There's that list.
Oh! You want me to list more games you don't know about?
List some more games that I don't know about that I can actually find in a store. Every time I go to a store and look for Wii games, they're always some kind of princess games, M&M's kart racing.
Then you know the solution.
Jerry Rice and Nidus dog football. That's what's on.
You know the solution to that? Go online.
Yeah, you said it yourself. Hunt for those needles in those haystacks.
Go online. That's all you have to do.
Go through backlogs of articles on IGN.
Like for instance, go to Metacritic, and you know how they have that greatest to least order of games they have for individual consoles. You can just go to Metacritic, scroll down, the green graded games, and you can just pick out, all the hardcore games that are there. You don't have to go to go to a store.
I have a Wii, so that's pretty much what I have to do to find a good Wii game.
Okay, so see, but now you're arguing I can't find them.
I have to do homework to find those Wii games.
Look, dude. Your argument was the Wii games don't exist. They're not there. Now your argument is I can't find them. You're changing your argument.
No.
Yeah.
Like I said earlier, I'm not going to say that there's absolutely zero games.
You said 6 or 7.
I stated that off from the beginning.
You said 6 or 7.
Twist reality.
You said there's only 6 or 7 games on the Wii for more mature gamers. That's what you said. Am I right?
What I said
is that what you said?
Fans have that same list of 6 or 7 because there's
you
that many games.
Did you say?
Obviously, there's more than 7 quality games on the Wii.
So now
Are you gonna get into semantics and twisting words around, or are we gonna have like an actual discussion?
How am I twisting words when I'm quoting you, word for word?
Yes, Shokio, you're right. There are exactly 7 quality titles for the Wii. Exactly.
I know you don't mean that exactly, but what you're saying is that there is few. When I kept on, and then I started listing a bunch to you, and then your argument changed. You're like,
You
well,
said you know I don't mean that. If you know I don't mean that, and you kind of get what my argument is, then why are you twisting
you're saying
words around?
you're saying
Are
there's.
you trying to win a high school debate, or are you trying to actually hear what I'm saying and my point?
You were saying that there's very few.
There is very
So
few.
I list you a bunch, and then you change your argument to, well, I can't find them. Do you understand that? You have changed your argument.
My argument is that there's so few that the ones that are there are going to be extremely hard to find.
It's not that there's few. It's just that they're outweighed by the amount of shovelware.
What? Say that again?
Outweighed by the amount of shovelware.
Why is there so much shovelware on it?
Because the Wii is a money-making system.
The Xbox making system, and there's nowhere near the amount of shovelware on that.
We've already agreed on the point that the Wii appeals to kids. Nobody's discussing that, dude. So you're trying to be smart with this point that I'm not even challenging. So back to the argument at hand, which you keep trying to run away from.
The Wii is for kids. What is the point of it?
No, that's not what I said. I said it appeals to kids. I said I'm not debating that the Wii appeals to kids. It does. The majority of Wii owners are casuals. I said that. And you're trying to like, oh, what did you say? Shovelware? When, like I said, I already said that the majority of Wii owners are casual. So this whole shovelware thing you're doing, you see what I'm saying? It's pointless.
Is Disney for kids?
Is Disney for kids?
Yeah, for kids.
For the most part, yeah.
They're there for kids?
For the most part, yeah.
But they, I believe they own ESPN, don't they?
I don't know, do they? I don't know.
Well, I guess ESPN's for kids. See what I did there? That's the Nintendo fanboy.
Do you have any idea what you're saying right now?
I'm using the Nintendo fanboy argument. ESPN's for little kids.
I wish you could see my face right now. I really wish you could see my face right. What are you talking about?
Because that's a stupid argument, right?
What argument are you talking about?
Isn't that the argument you used?
ESPN?
Yeah.
When did ESPN come out of my mouth? What are you talking about? Do y'all hear this guy?
Like when you said kids play Call of Duty, does that mean Call of Duty is for kids? That's the same argument.
That's what you were saying, yes.
But when I say the same argument, use Disney, that's such a ridiculous argument. But when it comes to Nintendo, oh no.
That's not the same thing, dude.
That is exactly the same
You're talking
thing.
about a company owning another company. The argument we were talking about earlier was, oh, that appeals to kids, so it's made for kids. What are you talking about?
I just made the argument right there. What do you mean, what am I talking about? That's the same thing.
That's not... So a company owning another company is the same thing as a game being made for kids because it appeals to kids.
Well, they put out those ESPN shows, don't they?
What ESPN shows? What are you talking about?
Like, say, First Take. Are you aware that's a Disney property?
Okay.
Just like when Nintendo games aren't made by Nintendo, like Mario Party.
You're really not making a point here, dude. I do not see where you're coming from at all. And actually, if anything, you're kind of helping my point more, because by saying that Disney owns ESPN, then you're saying that Disney has content for people outside of children, just like Nintendo has. So you're actually helping my point more than you're helping yourself.
Well, I think you just made my point. Disney has content that's not for children. But earlier you said Disney was a company mainly for kids.
For the most part, yes.
That's my point.
That didn't refute my point.
Nintendo is a company mainly for kids.
That didn't refute my point. I said Disney primarily appeals to kids. And then you said Disney owns ESPN. That's not refuting my point.
Okay, now what about Nintendo is mainly for kids, appealing for kids?
Like the Wii series games.
The Wii series game?
Yeah.
The Wii library?
No, I mean like the Wii Sports, Wii Fit, stuff like that. It appeals to kids.
Do you own any of those games?
Of course, Wii Sports. Wii Fit, no, not right now.
You said those were for kids.
I have family. Wii Sports comes boxed. Wii Sports comes boxed in with the Wii. You're going to get on me for Wii Sports?
For that.
Okay.
I know it comes boxed in.
And I never said Wii Sports was made for kids. I said it appeals to kids because we can all agree that Wii Sports was made to show off what the Wii can do. I think we could pretty much both agree on that.
I think all those games you listed for the Wii, I don't know about them, so I really can't get on you for that either. But I know this much. Most of those 90 million units of the Wii that were sold, most of those aren't playing those games.
Again, that's completely unrelated to the argument, dude. You keep on throwing stuff in. You don't see that? We're here to debate on whether or not the Wii has games for the hardcore gamer. Plenty of games. I gave you a bunch of games, and then you argued, well, I can't find them. And ever since, you have
I
just...
I should have made the argument that Nintendo doesn't have any good game made for adults. Many, I should say, because I know you'll...
Like Fatal Frame, like Fatal Frame 4. Right?
How many would you say are quality?
Like Tengekino Zen, whatever the hell that title is, game. Like Pandora's Tower.
Give me a number out of those 5 titles. How many are quality titles geared for adults?
They're all the titles I just listed were quality titles.
How many would you say those are?
I just listed like 3 or 4. In addition to the ones I've already listed, I just listed some new ones.
How many would you say total out of the Wii? Give me a guess.
A total of what?
Of quality games that for adults.
For
Not
adults?
strictly for adults, but
for
adults,
older than kids. Yeah, I get what you're saying. You could get like 35, 40 Wii games that don't appeal to kids.
Wow.
Probably even more. I'm just thinking about the ones on top of my head.
I've owned my PS3 for about, I don't know, 2 years. And I probably burned through 100 games. So the Wii is how many years old? I would have been done with it in its first year. And it would have collected dust that whole rest of its life.
Well, really, I just gave the amount of Wii games I own. I own about like 40. I owned 40 like last year. I'm probably up to either the high 40s or 50 by now. But to say that 50 games isn't a lot, to say that's not a good like collection you got going there, that's just silly, man.
Well, that's another argument we could debate because I don't think 50 quality games.
Well, no. It's not that. It's not that there's only 50. I'm saying I own 50, and I don't even own all the quality games that I know of. You see what I'm saying?
I think your 50 is a pretty high number. I don't think many Nintendo owners are even aware of that amount of good games.
Exactly.
About the Wii, I think you own the majority, if not all of them.
Exactly. That's my point. Exactly. A lot of people who say the Wii doesn't have any games, they simply don't know about its library because they can't get past, all the commercials with the, Ubisoft games. Basically the babies.
I thought you were going to give me a number of about 100 or more, and that still wouldn't have been enough.
No, I would if I were to, if the Wii had multiplats, but unfortunately it doesn't, for the most part. But
can you explain this to me? Why are there friend codes on the Wii?
To keep the kids safe.
To keep the kids safe?
Yeah.
All evidence that this is for children.
No, dude, you keep forgetting. Nobody here is denying that Nintendo appeals to kids. Nobody's denying that, so get off of that. We're talking about games here. We're talking about there are games in the Wii's library for the hardcore gamer. That is the point. There's plenty. No, excuse me. There's plenty.
There's quality games for the Atari Jaguar. There's quality games for the Atari Lynx.
Let me correct myself. Let me correct myself. There's plenty of games for the hardcore gamer on the Wii. I proved it.
The entire library is plenty. I don't think 100 out of the entire library is plenty. I wish somebody knew an exact number of how many games, and I doubt it would be plenty.
It could be 1,000 out of 1,000,000, and 1,000 is still plenty. Ratio really doesn't matter. It just is the only thing that matters is the raw number of quality exclusives you can buy on that console. And
I'm not talking ratio either. I'm talking actual amount.
Well, you said out of.
50 is not enough.
That's just 50 I own.
100 is not enough.
What's enough? Exclusive wise, and we're talking about retail.
I'm not worried about exclusives. I'm worried about what
you
can actually buy and play on.
Okay, so we're talking about multiplats.
I'm talking about what you can buy and play on the thing. You're starting to sound like Pyro now.
And you're sounding like MLD. Because MLD used to count Mass Effect for the 360, although it was on the PC, and you and other Sony guys always said that he couldn't do that, but you're doing this exact same thing against the Wii. You realize that, right?
I never said he couldn't do that.
I'm
frankly,
pretty sure I saw you plenty of times.
To be honest with you, I really don't know much about MLD other than that he's a blind 360 fanboy. So
you're.
My first video from him like the other day, and couldn't even see.
Well, just know that you're saying something exactly, what MLD said, so that's not a good sign.
Well, I'll check him out, but I just think it's insane when people discount multiplats on the system.
And no, the thing is, I'm not discounting multiplats.
It's a game that you can buy on the system.
Yeah, the thing is, I'm not discounting them. The thing is that you gotta understand is that so you talking multiplats to me, you see what I'm saying? That doesn't mean anything to me because I have a PS3 and PC, so I can play those multiplats. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, but that's
so you're coming to the wrong person. You're coming to the wrong person talking about, well, you get these multiplats on PS3 and not on Wii. You're coming to the wrong person. To me, you see what I'm saying? I have a PS3, I play it. I have a PC, I play it. So the multiplat arguments, irrelevant. That's the beauty of owning multiple systems.
I own multiple systems.
Do you enjoy them?
Of course.
Do you enjoy your Wii? But there you go.
No, not really.
Exactly.
No.
There's a difference between, because a lot of people buy a console and then they don't touch it, but at the same time they try to use that for credibility. But when I say I own multiple consoles, I also play them and I enjoy them. That's why I'm different from all these other fools.
I'm trying to enjoy the Wii. I really am, but that.
Well, man, go look up the games like I just mentioned, dude. Like if you want a list, I will give you a list.
Games, and then going out and get the game, because every time I do this, the game is just trash.
Well, maybe because you're going in there with an extremely biased mind, which I'm sure you can admit that you have.
No, to be honest, I'm too selfish to have a biased mind. If I buy something, I'm going in there to enjoy it.
So, like, what Wii games have you bought and you have not enjoyed?
Have I not enjoyed?
Yeah.
Like I said, GoldenEye was awful. It was horrible. And when I first got it, I really thought I was going to enjoy it. Like, oh, it's a multiplayer game for the Wii.
But I mean, like, the only things you said about it though was like the graphics.
Oh no, the multiplayer ran like shit and was awful. It was sluggish. It ran like GoldenEye on the Nintendo 64.
It ran fine for me. I guess that was your experience.
All the reviews said, "Oh, this is nothing like that GoldenEye." Well, the multiplayer was pretty much dead on to it, other than it had 2 analog sticks.
Well, honestly, if the multiplayer was truly broken, I don't think it'd have a good score up on Metacritic.
It's a Nintendo game. There is a lot of
It's not a Nintendo game. It's an Activision.
smart reviewers.
It's an Activision game.
But at the time, it was a Wii exclusive.
But it's not. But it's not a Nintendo game.
Let's keep it real.
You think
Wii
they help?
exclusive
You
from Nintendo's yesteryear of the 64.
You think that the journalists are biased for the Wii?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Without question.
Oh my god. You hear that, guys? The media's for the Wii. Michael Pachter, he's always been repping it.
Why else would Skyward Sword get such high scores?
Cause it's a good game.
That's fucking horrible.
Cause it's a good. You're saying that because you are a biased PS3 fanboy, dude.
Every review for Skyward Sword says that there's a huge stretch of the game that's repetitive and has padded gameplay added, padded and boring. You can concede that, can't you?
Not really. I played it and I beat it.
How can you give any game that
Okay,
has anything
give
with
me-
the words padded and boring in it such a high score? That's insane.
Give me an example. A specific example.
A specific example.
Yeah.
How about the GameSpot review?
No, I'm talking about an example of, a instance in Skyward Sword where you're just like wasting time.
Well, there's side quests, right?
Yeah.
Pumpkin fetching and all this crap.
Wait. You're calling side quest a waste of time?
Are there times where you have to backtrack for?
You don't have to do the side quest, dude. And pretty much every RPG in existence has side quests. How are you going to complain that the option of side quests are there? Surely you see how silly that is.
It's not because they're there. It's because they're boring and quote padded.
Don't do them.
How about the fact that you have to backtrack repeatedly for items that you could have gotten when you were there?
And how many games in the existence of existence make you do the exact same thing, and yet people have not complained about it?
Lots of times that people have complained about it. I believe the word is linear.
Did you play the Metroid? Did you play the Metroid Prime games on the GameCube?
Can you argue that the game is linear? I'm actually playing through them right now.
Metroid Prime?
Yes.
But there's a lot of backtracking, so why are you playing them?
Because that's the point of that game. Was that
So that's the
point.
point.
Zelda was an action.
That's the
action
point.
adventure game.
It is an adventure. You can go wherever you want to, whenever. Dude, let's be honest. Let's be honest here. You got kind of caught up saying you're playing through Metroid Prime, although you were complaining about Skyward Sword having backtracking, when Metroid Prime is known for extreme backtracking.
Metroid isn't an action
That's
adventure game.
Metroid is an adventure game, dude. Metroid's an adventure game. Are you really going to argue that?
It's not an action game like Zelda's supposed to be.
Zelda's not an action, it's an adventure. Both of they're in the same genre. Metroid is a first-person adventure. Zelda is a third-person adventure. They are both adventure games. Are you really going to sit here and argue this? Like, really?
Zelda's an action adventure game.
It's an adventure game. Oh, so action games are supposed to have backtracking.
They're supposed to have, I don't know, action.
No, that makes no sense. You're contradicting yourself because actually
the majority of the game shouldn't be backtracking for crap.
Actually,
you should have gotten in the first place.
The-
just to add on gameplay hours.
the majority.
That's all with Zelda. You can't deny that.
Oh, so but
What
what about Metroid Prime?
about it?
Is that padding?
What are you talking about? The GameCube Metroid Prime or the Wii?
Well, I mean they're all Metroid Prime. I mean, it doesn't matter. I figure you didn't play Metroid Prime 3 because it's
So they're all
on the
same,
Wii.
What you're saying, right?
No, I said they're all Metroid games. But I said I'm talking about the ones on GameCube.
Games?
I'm talking about the ones on GameCube specifically because I figured you did not play the one on Wii. Am I right?
No, I'm still first.
Exactly. So, anyways, why is the backtracking in Skyward Sword? Why is that padding, but in Metroid Prime that's not padding?
Well, let me tell you about the Metroid game. I bought it maybe 6 months ago and have enjoyed it. And I'd say I'm on like the second, I don't know what you would call it, world or whatever, where there's a lot of ice. That's where I left off about 6 months ago. So I wouldn't say it's a bad game, but I haven't touched it in 6 months.
Well, according to you and what you like, apparently you should just put the game down right now because Metroid has a lot of backtracking. So you might as well not even play it.
I put it down 6 months ago.
But you picked it back up.
No, when I say I'm going through it right now, I'm pretty much just telling you I haven't finished it. It's not actually in the Wii. What's in the Wii right now is Mario Galaxy 2.
I understand that, but you're playing, not right now, but you picked it back up recently, right?
No.
You said you started playing through again.
I never said I started playing through again. And I know you're recording this. I've never said I started it again.
Yes, you did. I said, have you played the Metroid Prime games? And you said, yeah, I'm playing through them right now. That's what you said.
Well, I misspoke then because I'm not currently playing through them right now. But I do.
Okay, so now you're saying something that you know. Now you're saying you didn't say something you know good and well you said.
No, what I'm saying is if I said it, clearly I misspoke because I am not currently playing through it and haven't picked it up.
But nobody messes up that bad, dude. Something's going on here. I think you're caught up and you're just kind of trying to backtrack a little. Nobody will say something. Nobody will say.
I'm making up that I'm not playing it right now. Why would I do that?
No,
if I'm playing it, I say yes, I'm playing it right now.
Because you're caught up. Because you don't say, yeah, I'm playing through the Metroid Prime games right now. That sentence isn't a sentence that somebody would say accidentally. You see what I'm saying? So I really doubt that you misspoke. So, yeah.
Obviously, I misspoke because why would I deny if I was playing it right now? Well, for what possible reason?
Because if you are playing it right now, that helps my point that you're being hypocritical because you're playing Metroid Prime, although that has backtracking, but you complain about Skyward Sword's backtracking. That's why. So now that I made that point, now you're saying that you're not playing the Metroid Prime games. Now you're denying that you said that you were playing through them.
No, because I could easily make the point that look, Metroid Prime is the excuse. Metroid Prime is probably the one game that you can enjoy head on. I could always make that argument.
What?
Metroid Prime is a very unique game that is specifically made to backtrack and to find things like that. There's no other game like Metroid Prime. It's probably the first of its kind that ever did that.
What Zelda game hasn't let you backtrack? Like, really?
Let you or forced you to. Two different things.
Metroid forces you too.
Metroid forces
You're caught, dude. You're caught. You're saying Skyward Sword was garbage because it forces you to backtrack, but Metroid does the same thing. You're caught up, dude. Let's be honest here.
Because it forces you to backtrack for stuff that you could have picked up in the first place, and that's the quote from the GameSpot review.
Metroid is the exact same thing, dude. Are you really going to sit here and deny that?
No, because Metroid is not linear.
Dude, listen.
It forces you to go back. You can pick those things up at any time.
Metroid and Zelda, they both have that upgrade thing going on and collect tools. And you get new tools so you can progress to get other tools. They are exactly the same in that sense. You cannot tell me the backtracking in Zelda is different from the backtracking in Metroid. That is false.
So you don't agree with that GameSpot review where they say that it's boring, added fetch quests, padded gameplay, repetitive, laggy controls?
No, and I noticed how you're focused on that one review.
Well, because it's obviously the one that everybody knows.
So that one review.
Easily go to Metacritic, look at the lowest scores, and dig stuff out of there if you'd like.
Okay, let's say you find 5 bad review scores. Does that outweigh the 50 others?
See, that's where we get through Nintendo's bias. Because you can go through the top 10 review scores where they say things like repetitive and boring and laggy, yet it got that perfect 10.
So every Nintendo game gets a good score because of the bias.
No, where are you getting that from?
You.
When
That's what you're telling me, man. That's what you're.
There's a bias that influences scores, no doubt about that.
So like, there's just no Nintendo game that's just legitly deserved its score for the Wii.
It's again when I'm saying this point about the majority of things. You're trying to switch that around and say, look how ignorant he is. He's saying every single one, when that's just not the case.
Well, every single one I bring up, you're saying they were biased for it.
Well, stop bringing up those ones.
I brought up No More Heroes. I brought up No More Heroes. You said bias.
Bring some legitly quality games up.
None of these games I'm listing are legitly quality to you because they're Wii games. see, you gotta understand. You gotta understand. Your bias is automatically going to write off the quality of whatever game I mention. You gotta understand that.
No, you're just mentioning horror.
Sin and Punishment.
You're just mentioning horrible games.
Sin and Punishment Star Successor. Do you know what that is?
No.
Exactly. How about I just had it in my head. What was that? Not that what was that? Simple Star Successor. Fire Emblem Radiant Dawn.
I've never played that game.
That has a double A score. Was that part of the bias?
Well, I have to go and look over that review again. But I wouldn't say that's biased. It got horrible scores, and the game's crap.
It didn't get horrible scores.
It didn't?
No.
Well, what kind of score did it get on Metacritic?
Let me see. Oh, was I typing the wrong game?
I know what it got on the 3DS. Is it much different than the 3DS version?
It has a 78 on Metacritic.
78?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a stellar title you just named off.
So, but this coming from the person who said that he enjoyed what game? I forgot what game. You told me you like this game that has like a 50 or 60 on Metacritic. I forgot what it was. So
Enslaved?
So now, no, it wasn't Enslaved. Although, what does Enslaved?
Burning Skies?
Yeah, that's what it was. Burning Skies. What's that at right now?
Well, that's the thing with the Vita. We get compared to, the PS3.
No, stop. You're making excuses.
That's not an excuse.
You're saying I can't list Fire Emblem Radiant Dawn 79, but you could say.
What score do you think Resistance would get if it was a 3DS title? Seriously, that would be an 8 or a 9 on the 3DS. You're telling me there's no bias towards Nintendo?
The media hates Nintendo, dude.
Those awful graphics on the Vita would be absolutely amazing on the Wii or the 3DS.
But the Metacritic score is not going to go up 40 points because of graphics.
No, but it'll go up 20.
No. And that's subjective. That's subjective, and you really can't argue that. But back to the point I was making.
Let me make another point.
You were saying that Fire Emblem. Oh yeah, that's a stellar game because it has a 79 or 78. And you said that Resistance Burning Skies is a stellar game, yet that has a 59. That is contradiction, my man.
There's a bias towards Nintendo.
Oh my god!
And you're picking out the few instances that it isn't to say.
Look,
see,
dude,
not every game is.
We're
We're
arguing facts here. We're arguing facts. If you think there's a bias, that's you. But the thing is, you cannot prove it. So it's really not a point. Let's just be honest here. It was hypocritical for you to discount Fire Emblem, but say that Burning Skies is a great game. Let's be honest here.
You know, I can't prove that the sky is blue. I don't have equipment that will show you factual evidence that it is blue. But you can walk outside, look up at the sky, and see what color it is.
Yes, and I can also go to Metacritic and see that Burning Skies has a 59.
Well, that's Metacritic. That's comparing games to PS3 games. Do you think it would get that 59 on the 3DS?
You really think?
Do you think it would get that 59 on the 3DS? Or would it be somewhat groundbreaking on the 3DS?
The graphics will bump it up a couple of points, but it's not going to send it into AA, AAA territory, dude.
So there is some sort of bias.
No, it's not. The reason why it will be a higher score on 3DS, I'm saying, is solely because of the graphics, dude.
But those graphics are horrible in those reviews. They say they're horrible.
Horrible for Vita, but they wouldn't be horrible for the 3DS because the 3DS is weaker than the Vita.
So then what are we comparing these graphics to?
They're comparing the graphics.
Tons of Vita games that look, you know, spectacularly more amazing than Resistance. So what are they comparing these games to?
So now there's no there's no amazing looking Vita games.
What are they
All of a sudden, when it's
games to?
Maybe Golden Abyss.
Maybe they're comparing,
maybe Wipeout 2048.
maybe to the PS3.
You've lost, man. You've lost.
Maybe.
You just listen. You just implied that there's no Vita games that look good enough for them to compare it to other Vita games. That's what you just implied.
There's not many.
That's what you just implied.
Right
You said they're comparing it to PS3 graphics because they have no Vita games, that have set a standard, and that's just false.
Library.
They're there.
They're sure as hell not comparing it to the 3DS.
So they're not comparing.
Or other handhelds. It's setting its own standards.
So they're not comparing. Burning Skies graphics to Uncharted's and to Wipeouts and to Gravity Rushes. They're not doing that. You're telling me this, really? Exactly. Exactly. Okay, but that's my point. You were saying that you were like, oh, what games on Vita just look absolutely amazing, and there is absolutely amazing looking Vita games. So you lost.
It's got an 8, and why did Resistance get an 8? Because it's being compared to its PS3 counterparts.
Nobody is going to be.
You just made my point.
Nobody is comparing Burning Skies graphics to Resistance 3's.
Every Vita game.
Nobody is doing that.
I'll make it real simple. Every Nintendo Wii game and every 3DS game gets an extra couple of points, gets an extra boost in the review scores because of the faulty garbage hardware that it's on.
You realize that it's the same way with a lot of other games. They take off points because of the weak hardware, because of the 480p. There's plenty of reviewers who were like, I'm taking off points.
That's not true, because every review of Skyward Sword says how great it looks. Those graphics are not.
Are you really going to say there's plenty of reviewers complaining about the graphics? Go to Metacritic right now and read the summaries they have posted up there. There's plenty of Wii games that automatically get points knocked off for being standard definition, dude. And I can't believe you don't actually know this. Because this should be like a universally.
The norm is that they get a boost in their review scores, whatever you want to call it, because the games look good for the Wii. They look good for the 3DS. They're not being compared to, the actual games that are out there today.
It's the exact opposite, my man.
No,
read.
Your bias.
Go. Hey, I said go read.
You can forget.
I have.
I am the truth of YouTube.
I have supporting evidence. I'm saying go read. You can't say, oh, go read, where they're saying that, oh, well, it is good graphics for the Wii, so we're giving it 10 extra points.
Of other people's opinion.
No, I didn't say evidence. I didn't say evidence.
What I have.
I didn't say evidence.
And look at shelves and see what Nintendo actually does have to offer. That ability, the reality.
Oh, because it's not at your local GameStop doesn't mean it's not there.
It's not at your local GameStop. It's not at your local Target. It's not at your local Walmart. It's not at your local Kmart. It's not at your local Best Buy.
Yeah, so you went to all these places hunting down Wii games.
You know where it is? You know where those good quality Wii games are? Get on your computer, punch over that fucking mouse.
Yeah. I know, man. I know, y'all.
Some searching.
I know. We've gotten really off topic because every single time I debunk one of his points, he goes into another argument. But I just go ahead and I go along with it. We've been through 2 different arguments already, and we're on the 3rd.
There is no argument.
Y'all see this?
It stands. It's reality.
First. No, we actually think about what we've been talking about. First, we're talking about
For kids, you conceded that.
Oh, there's no. I didn't say it's for kids. I said it appeals to kids, and I said the majority of Wii owners are casual gamers. And you said, there's not.
You say the majority.
And your point.
Pretty much say it's for kids.
Your point was there's no hardcore games.
Face it, casual gamers means kids or soccer moms.
Which are adults, yes.
But
your point essentially was that you can't build a hardcore gaming library on the Wii. That was your point. And then you were talking about, you keep listing the same things. So I listed different things. And so then you went on talking about review scores. I handled your review score point. And then you went back to talking about not being able to find the games. You see how we keep on going onto different topics? It's still Wii-related.
I proved all those points.
No, every single time I debunked it, you ran from it and you started up another argument, dude.
You've never debunked
it. You didn't.
Anybody with some logic and some common sense.
You didn't counter my Fire Emblem and Resistance Burning Skies point. You did not counter that. All you said was there's a bias. I came at you with facts. I said you're saying a 78 is garbage, but you're saying that a 60, a 58.
There's clearly a bias towards Nintendo games.
No. Listen.
The majority of Nintendo games.
I was listening.
And your counterpoint was, not every single one of them, huh? Look at Fire Emblem.
No, I said. I said
not every single one.
I said a lot of them, and I listed a lot. Did I not list a lot?
No.
I listed a lot. And how many times did you say, I don't know what that is? I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is?
For every one that you list, I can list 10 that are crap. They got such high score.
That doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter? Wow. It doesn't matter.
It's a fact irrelevant to the argument. Okay, so listen. What you're saying?
That doesn't matter.
What you're saying is Metroid Prime 3 being a good game is irrelevant because I can list 50 crap games on the Wii. That's what you just said. You're saying that these games being good don't matter because there's a lot of other crap games. But those crap games existing, they have nothing to do with it. If there's good games, there's good games. So what? There's a bunch of crap on the system. Don't buy the crap. Just buy the good games. What you just said. What you just said. No, you're not talking about the point. You're not talking. You said for. You said for each good game you list, I can list 10 bad games. Did you say that? Did you not? Did you not say that?
Trying to switch that argument now?
Did you not say that? Did you say that?
See how you're trying to switch that though?
Switch what?
As far as the bias,
I'm quoting this guy, and he's saying every single time I quote this guy, he denies what he says, y'all. Every single time I quote him, he denies what he says. You said for every good Wii game, you said exactly for every good Wii game you can list, I can list 10 bad Wii games. That's exactly what you said. Did you not?
As far as the bias,
yes or no? Yes or no?
As far as the
did you say that?
Keep doing it.
Did you say that? Yes or no?
Addressing when you switch it.
Why won't you answer the question?
You said.
Why won't you answer the question?
Stop games.
Why won't you answer the
The
question?
bias towards Nintendo.
Why won't you answer the question?
I am answering it. You were talking.
Yes or no?
I'm letting you switch subjects. That's what's going on. We were talking about the bias towards Nintendo, and you were listing games that didn't get a biased review. And I said for every game you list that didn't get a biased review towards Nintendo, I could list 10 that do.
No, you said I could list 10 bad. You said I could list 10 bad games for every good one you could list. You were saying, you were acting as if somehow the shovelware nullifies the good games. As if the bad games make the good games not exist. That's what you said.
10 bad reviews as towards the bias.
That's what you. We weren't talking about reviews.
We just were. What do you mean we weren't?
I'm talking about in this specific.
Again.
No, I'm not. The other argument that we jumped into, because you like to jump a lot, you said.
Why don't you find one argument and we'll stick to that? Like I'm trying to force you to do, but you keep.
Did you seriously just say that, dude? You've been jumping around this whole time.
Because
And anybody in my live stream, can tell you that. I refute one of your points, and then you bring up something else.
You're refuting a point with something else, and I'm addressing something else.
Look, for instance, you said I listed all these games, and you said, well, how many of those games are actually good games? And then I started listing you games with good review scores, and then you jumped the argument and said, well, there's this Nintendo bias. You see, you changed the argument. No, did you not change the argument?
Null and void because there's such a bias towards Nintendo.
You changed the argument. That's the point. You changed the argument.
No, you changed it, bringing up those scores. So I guess basically, I gotta sit here and say, well, he did bring up review scores. I can't say nothing, or that would be changing the argument. I can't say nothing about the review scores that he just mentioned.
It's called.
Really, dude?
It's called support for your argument. I know you're not a debater. I know you don't know what that is, but that's how it works. You said how many of those games are actually good games. So to support my arguments, not that review scores are the end all be all, but just for support that Tatsunoko vs. Capcom is a good game, I said, hey, it has a good score on Metacritic. So the majority, 99% of the world will agree with me that Tatsunoko vs. Capcom is a good game. Do you understand what I did there?
I think Metacritic, using Metacritic as a support for your argument is null and void.
You want to go to game rankings? I can tell you right now, bro, it doesn't matter where we go. And you'll get the same results. Mario Galaxy 1 and 2, those are the highest rated exclusives this gen on both Metacritic and game rankings and any other averaging site you want to go to. So it's not just Metacritic. So I just debunked your argument right there. So counter.
Say that name again.
Super Mario Galaxy 1 and 2.
That's what you're using to defend your argument?
You
really think those games deserve that rating? Really?
That's not. See, you're getting off topic. That's not what I was saying. You're saying, oh, well, you're using Metacritic, so you're biased. I said you could go to all these other sites, and I just gave 2 games as an example. They will still be the highest rated this gen. I wasn't saying, oh yeah, they're just the best. I think they're just the greatest. I said you'll get the same results at the other sites. You misinterpreted the point I was making.
Are biased towards Nintendo, not just the.
But you said it doesn't matter because it's Metacritic. So I said, well, you can go to any site.
Well, Metacritic is basically the grouping of all these sites. So what's the difference? I mean, come on.
So why'd you say I'm biased for using Metacritic if Metacritic is the same thing as the rest of the sites on the internet? That's a contradiction.
Every site.
No. You said why did you use Metacritic? Why are you using Metacritic? Why don't you use other sites? That's essentially what you said. And now you're saying, well, Metacritic is all those sites. So you see how that's a contradiction?
All you're doing is twisting words instead of.
I am not twisting. Did you not say that I'm somehow leaning my argument because I'm just using Metacritic? That's what you said. You said I'm using Metacritic because it's convenient for me, implying that I'm just using that site because that site's scores are convenient for me. Is that not the point you were making? Was that not the point? Like, let's just be real here, man.
Jump to the conclusion of what I'm implying.
So also, what were you implying? But I can't use Metacritic specifically.
That all these reviews are biased towards Nintendo. I gotta say it real clear because you'll jump on every specific word and twist it. The majority of reviews are biased towards Nintendo. That's just a fact. Anybody other than a blind Nintendo fanboy knows this.
You're not arguing facts, man. I'm sorry. Like I can't even.
Those are facts.
I can't even debate that because that comes into.
Step out of your world of End-Up Nation and blind Nintendo fanboys and talk to some real gamers. Do you think these review scores are kind of biased towards Nintendo? That's just reality, bro. Reality. That's why when I say, do you think Mario Galaxy deserves those scores, you won't answer it.
Yeah, I do, but I didn't say that.
You really think that is one of the best games this gen is the Mario Galaxy games? Really?
Well, I'll do what I did a long time ago. Name a flaw in Mario Galaxy. Name a huge flaw. Because, of course, there's, small flaws in every game. But name some, huge flaw in the Super Mario Galaxy games, that just taint the game. What doesn't work in Super Mario Galaxy?
The level design is too simplistic. How about the motion controls are tacked on?
It's funny how you say the level designs are too simplistic. Like, are you honestly going to sit here and say that? If there's anything you're going to have to admit about the Galaxy games is that they got some creative level design.
Wow.
Oh, so you're not denying it.
There's nothing creative about it at all.
Yeah, it has a 97 because the bias, totally.
It has a 97 because it's Mario and it has the Mario music and it's from Nintendo.
Do you
It's the next gen Mario. That's why it has such high scores.
Do you hang around in 4G?
I grew up with Mario, so it's nostalgia. That's why it has.
Do you hang around in 4G?
N4G? I don't know who the hell that is.
Oh, it's a site, but never mind. But here's the thing you gotta understand, man. You can say that all you want, but that is something you cannot prove. Therefore, there's really no point of bringing that up in argument. I proved that there was a lot of hardcore Wii games. I proved that. You cannot prove that the Mario Galaxy games got 97s off of Metacritic because that is a completely opinionated thing. That's your perception. That's what you think. That's what you think the media is like.
But you've never proved any of those.
These games.
You never proved there were a lot of hardcore games. Quit lying. You proved that.
Okay, guys. I think it's time to end the video. He just said I did not list a lot of hardcore Wii games, and when he complained about me listing the same ones, I listed new ones, and he's still complaining he's still saying that I didn't list a bunch. So I think it's pretty much time to end the debate. Thanks for the debate, man. It was
run, Shokio, run.
It was really
You're on the ropes.
entertaining.
30 games is a lot, though, right?
I actually said I own 50, but okay.
50 games is a lot, though, right?
It's not. You're going to sit there at a stack of 50 games and say that's nothing?
I'm staring at a stack of like 60.
And again, I don't know why you keep missing over this point. That's 50 I own. I'm not saying there's only 50 hardcore Wii games. I'm saying I own 50 hardcore Wii games. Do you understand that?
Why don't you own more?
Do you understand?
Had the Wii for how long?
Because money don't grow on trees, son. And because I spread my money. Because I don't own and only buy games for one console. I also spend games. I also buy PS3 games. I also buy PC games.
Why would you
and are you going to blame me?
A large amount of quality hardcore games.
Are you going to blame me for not owning more than 50 hardcore Wii games? You're going to say that's not enough. 50. I should own more. Are you really going to sit here and say that?
In what? How long's the Wii been out? 6 years?
I should own more than 50 Wii games.
Over 6 years? I think you should. And I think you can't.
This guy.
I think every quality Wii game out there you probably have.
Oh man.
And you probably don't even play the Wii no more.
No, wait.
Anything in 2
Wait,
years.
what were you about to say? You said for every quality Wii game you have, what were you about to say?
I said every quality Wii game that's ever been made, I think you probably got it. And you haven't touched your Wii for 2 years because it has nothing good came out in 2 years except that boring pumpkin fetching Skyward Sword.
I'm playing Xenoblade right now.
That's right.
The last story.
Two games in the last 2
The
years.
last story
I'll
is
give you
coming
that
next
one.
month. Yeah, I said myself in 2011. I made videos bashing Nintendo in 2011 that Nintendo's not giving a shit and it's bullshit. So again, you keep on trying to bring up arguments that I agree with you on. That typical Nintendo fanboy just rage at you. You gotta understand, I'm not like that.
I do have one question though. I will change the subject now because I do have this question that never got answered.
What?
Did you leave End Up Nation or did you just grow up?
I left End Up Nation.
Did you turn 18 and they kicked you out?
No, I think it's that's really stupid to say considering Baron made it and he's above the age of 18. But anyways,
he's 18?
I said he's above the age of 18.
Oh.
But anyways,
I was about to say, I knew he was.
I
knew
think
he was 18.
I think it's funny how you're saying I should own more than 50 Wii games when 50 Wii games is $2,500. And then not to mention the money I've invested in my 360 and 360 games, my PS3 and my PS3 games, and my PC and my PC games.
Where are you buying
So
your
it's
Wii
6
games at?
years.
They are not however many thousands of dollars you just
It's 6 years spread between 4 different platforms.
You are getting burned, my friend. You're paying that much. I think that's what Wii games cost. You are getting sadly burned.
50 times 50 equals 2,500. Can you not do simple math?
I get Wii games for like $3.
I buy
a Wii game for 50 cents.
because these Wii games right here I bought at launch. That's why they're $50.
That's
my
sad mistake.
So you're saying $2,500 is a pathetic amount to spend on one library of one console when I had 3 others. I have 2 now, but you used to have 360. I had 3 others, and you're saying it's sad I only have $2,500 worth of Wii games. Are you hearing what you're saying?
Hey, it's not my fault.
My
you
man.
paid for all that shovelware.
My man.
All that Wii crap. If you're saying that's how much you paid for 50 Wii game titles, then we're on a whole nother debate about your ridiculous spending habits.
Sorry, I buy games. I buy good games. I'm sorry.
Don't apologize for it. It's your money. Let me tell you, you're wasting your money. Games are not worth that amount of money.
See, listen to what you're saying, man. All you're doing is coming with opinions. That's all you're doing.
Well, it's not an opinion to say you can find those games a lot cheaper than that.
I'm not talking about that. You're just saying they're bad games. You wasted your money. See, you're not giving anything substantial. That's not.
You bought a game and you can find it cheaper.
That's not what I'm talking about. I already told you I bought these games at launch, which is why they're $50. I'm talking about how you're saying, well, they're garbage. See, you're just giving opinions. You say the Wii doesn't have a lot of great hardcore games. I list them, and then you say, well, those are bad. And then you say, well, those are bad. And that's where you came with your opinion.
Those aren't a lot.
$2,500. You're right. That's not a lot. especially for a multi-console gamer. That's not a lot at all. You're totally right.
So the price dictates the amount of titles a console puts out, quality titles.
You're missing the point completely.
Does that mean that's less quality?
You're missing that this
Does
has.
that have less titles?
You're missing the point completely. I'm talking about how you were saying that, oh, you only have 50. That's not a lot. And I said 50 Wii games bought at launch are $2,500. $2,500 is a lot of games. You're saying the numerical value of the amount of games isn't a lot. So what I did is I gave you a money value to show you in a different way how that is a lot of games.
First of all, you did not buy all those games at launch.
Yes, I did.
Can we be real?
Yes, I did. I bought Xenoblade at launch. I bought Xenoblade at launch. I bought Tatsunoko vs. Capcom at launch. Monster Hunter 3 at launch. Conduit 2 at launch. No More Heroes 2 at launch. Launch.
Conduit 2 wasn't a launch title.
I'm not talking about the launch of the Wii. I'm talking about the launch of the game. The actual games.
Okay, you said at launch like if it was a console.
No. I'm talking about the games. That's why I paid $50 for them each. Because I buy my Wii games at $50. Because I buy them at launch.
Yeah. I think that's a mistake for most Nintendo owners to buy games at launch in the first place.
Okay, see, there you go. There you go.
That's why you paid so much for those.
There you go with an opinion. You just don't get it. You can't bring opinions to fight facts. You can't do it. Listen.
I bought Two Human for $59.99 at launch. I bought Perfect Art for $59.99.
More power to you. I hope you enjoyed those games.
Are you saying I don't have a huge library of quality games because I spent $2,500 on this crap because I bought it at launch? That's not really an argument.
That is exactly an argument. I already explained it to you, but I guess it went over your head. 50, the numerical value of 50 for games is not.
For its lifetime, it's not a lot of quality games. It just isn't.
Oh my God. It's 50 I own. And
about the Wii or the Dreamcast?
It's 50 I own. And I keep telling you this. You're saying 50 for a whole lifetime, 50 for a whole console is not a lot. This is 50 I own. Not all 50 Wii games the Wii has. 50 I own. Do you understand? Because this is like the 50th time I've said that.
You own 50 titles of shovelware. We've established that, Shokio.
And there you go with opinions. Are you going to bring any facts, man?
I got nothing but facts.
Because I'm giving you numbers. And you're giving me, well, that's bad. Well, that's shovelware. You see what I'm saying? I'm giving you numerical value. I'm punching in numbers, not really, but I'm giving you numbers.
On your game library to equate the number of quality titles available on the Wii.
Yes, if somebody spends $1 million on a console, then they have a lot of games. Money value.
$5,000 on these 10 games, and said, "What do you mean I don't have a lot of games? $5,000 on games."
Money value can.
See how ridiculous an argument that is?
Money value can express how much of something you have. Money value can. Money value can express the numerical value of how many things you own.
But they don't express it in this.
If I say I bought $3,000 worth of dogs, then that means I have a lot of dogs, correct? Yes or no? Yes or no? But the thing is, with the Wii, we know they're at a set price. It's not going to go any higher than 50. You see what I'm saying? So when we say $2,500,
but it does go
it's
lower,
a lot. It goes lower, but I bought them
Much lower,
before they went
within
lower.
weeks.
You're not making a point, dude. I'm sorry. You are not making a point. Let's say dogs. I don't know why I'm using dogs as an example, but dogs are Wii games. Dogs cost
Dog shit is Wii games.
Dogs cost $100 each.
Turn that dog around to the other end. Dog shit is Wii games.
I really don't care for the name calling or whatever, but anyways, back to the point. If dogs costed $100 and I said I have $3,000 worth of dogs, then that would imply that I have a lot of dogs, correct?
Not really if dogs are readily available for like $2 or $3.
No, I said let's set them at $100 because Wii games are set at 50 maximum. So I'm saying if we set them at a set value, let's say dogs are $300 each, and I say I've spent $10,000 worth of dogs, then that would imply that I have a lot of dogs.
Value at $50.
This is such a simple concept, y'all.
$2,500 or whatever you spent isn't a lot of money then.
This is such a simple concept, y'all. He's saying that money has nothing to do with the amount of something you own. That's what this guy is saying, y'all. That's what he's saying. So I can spend $1 million on Wii games, but that doesn't mean I have a lot of Wii games.
Did you spend $1 million?
That doesn't mean. That doesn't mean. It's $2,500. That's not a lot.
Not when you're buying them at the full launch price. No, it isn't.
That's 50.
Over the course of how many years?
50 times 50 is 2,500.
That means what? You've had less than 10 games per year on the Wii? I downloaded about 12 games last month.
You do understand I own more than a Wii, right?
Yeah.
I keep repeating myself because you just keep ignoring all the other stuff I'm saying. You gotta understand, my money is spread. It's not concentrated like yours. If I only owned a Wii, I'd have more Wii games. It is such a simple concept to understand, man. It's elementary.
I don't only own a PS3 and I have far.
I only have 50, although which is a lot in itself. But that is because I would own more, but I don't because my money is spread towards my 360, PS3, and PC as well. Do you understand? Yes or no?
That's not really a valid argument.
Do you?
Even still, that's not a lot of
you keep on ignoring the questions. You know, in a debate, when somebody asks you a question and you do not answer it, that is admitting defeat to the point made. You understand that, right? Do you understand that? Because you've been doing that this whole time, dude.
I understand your point, and I'm telling you that even though your money's spread over 3 consoles, that is not a lot of games.
So you're going to tell me that I don't have a valid excuse for only owning 50 Wii games?
You do have a valid excuse that there's.
Then why are you talking? Then why are you talking? You owned yourself. You owned yourself because you said I have a valid excuse. I'm justified. I'm justified to owning 50 Wii games. So you just owned yourself. Congratulations.
I think I just proved my
Congratulations. Congratulations.
There aren't that many quality Wii games. That's why you only have 50.
How could you still not understand the point? You said I only own 50 because there's only 50 quality Wii games. This whole time I've told you. This whole time I've been telling you.
Exactly 50 quality.
This whole time I've been telling you. That's what you just recently said. The fools in this chat can tell you that. You just said that. You said you didn't say it back then, but just then you just said, oh, you only have 50 because there's only about 50 to own. You just said that. You just said that.
I would say about, yeah.
Either way, you just said I only own that because that's pretty much the amount that's there. When I just explained to you.
I guarantee you got more than 50 games on your PC.
When
correct?
I just explained, no, I don't. I just explained to you. I probably will this summer though, after the summer sale. But anyways, I just explained to you that the reason why I have 50 is because my money is spread. Now you said you understood that. You said I'm justified in having 50 games. You said that's a valid argument. But then you
No,
go.
what I said was I understood your argument. I didn't say that was valid. It's quite an invalid argument.
You said
money is also
you said I was justified.
More games just on the PS3 alone, and I also have these 3 consoles.
You said I was justified for just owning 50 Wii games. You said that.
Yeah, because the
Okay,
games are horrible.
okay.
That's why you only own
No. But you said that because you said you understood the fact that I own multiple consoles and systems. That's why you said that. But then you went to go.
The point you're making,
But then
it's wrong.
you're cutting me off. But then you went to go say you only own these games because that's pretty much the only amount. See, so you contradicted yourself. You said, "Yeah, I understand. You only own those games."
That is why you only own
But
those
okay. So you're saying
ourselves.
so you're giving 2 reasons now.
If we had the quality games that the PS3
You don't see.
360 had, you'd probably have more than 50, and you probably would.
You don't see how you're contradicting yourself. You admitted.
Same point I've been making.
You admitted. You said, "Yeah, I understand. You only have 50 because you own multiple consoles." You said that. But then you went to go say, "No, listen. But then you went to go say,
The point's not valid.
and
It's
then
not true.
you went to go say you only own 50 because there's only 50. You contradicted yourself.
How many times do I have to
You
say it?
contradicted yourself.
I understood the point you were making.
And you said I was justified.
That's why you only have so many games.
And you said I was justified.
That's not why.
And you
That's
said,
the point you're trying to make, but I don't believe it.
and you said
understand?
I was justified. Did you
I'm not
not?
lying.
Did you not say I was? Did you not say I was
The reason
justified?
You're justified in only owning 50 Wii games is because there's not that many.
No. See, that's the thing. That's the thing. That's the thing.
So
That's
it's okay for you to own these
no.
games.
That's the thing. The thing
You
is,
get it now?
the thing is, when you actually said I was justified, we were talking about the owning other consoles. That's what we were talking about. I said,
Yeah, you're not justified for that,
I said I own this. I said, no,
you
listen.
only have 50.
This
You only have
is
50 because there's not that many great games.
this is exactly what
And
happened.
you know how I know it? Because I'm not rich. I'm not a millionaire. I own more than
Look,
one
dude.
console.
Look,
I
dude.
spread my money around.
Look,
I
dude.
own way
Look.
more than that on the PS3.
Look, dude, this is exactly what happened. I said I own the PS3, I own the
You gonna
360.
gloss over what I just said?
Listen, I said I own a
You just
Wii,
gloss over what
I own a Wii. You were talking about being a millionaire and stuff, dude. Anyways, like I was saying before you cut me off, I said here's exactly what happened. I said I own a Wii, I own the 360, I own a PS3, I own a PC. I said so you can understand why my money is spread thin and I only own 50 Wii games, right? And you said yes. And I said I'm justified because of that, right? And you said yes. And you said yes.
Do you understand my point? Understand that I win.
And
Do you understand my
no, and then I asked you.
understand your point.
No, and then I asked you. I asked you.
That's not why you only.
And then I asked you if I was justified because of that reason. I asked you if I was justified because of that reason, and you said yes. That's what you said, dude. The people in the chat can tell you that.
And I said yes, you do have a valid reason, and the valid reason is because there's not that many quality titles.
And I
I
also asked if I was justified for those reasons, and you said yes.
I'm saying no.
And you said
I'm
yes.
saying no.
So now you're taking back what you're saying, and now you're taking back what you're saying.
Reason, because I have all these consoles, and I'm not rich.
And now-
I have money coming out of my ass.
and
but
now
I have
you're saying-
150 titles on the PS3.
And once again, you're saying you didn't say something that you said.
Wow.
The
You're
people
amazing,
in the
Shokio,
chat
you're amazing.
can tell you.
You're just dancing and dancing around these subjects. You're treating this as a contest of twisting words rather than debating.
I didn't say that.
I did say that. You do have
Yeah,
an
yeah, Dad.
excuse. Your excuse is that there's not enough good games on the Wii. But your excuse
Yeah.
definitely isn't that your money's spread, because there's a lot of gamers that their money is spread.
So you say I only own 50 because it has roughly that amount. Yet at the same time, you admitted that I own 50 because my money is spread. You're not listening, dude. You're not listening. You're not listening. You are not listening. You said yes. No, listen. Let me talk. Let me talk, and I'll let you talk. Let me talk. Let me talk, and I'll let you talk. Not only did you say you understood my point, I asked you if I was justified for that reason. For owning 50 Wii games, owning multiple consoles, am I justified for only 50 games for that reason? You said yes. You know, that's... I said, am I justified because of that? That's what I said. That's exactly what I said. That's exact... But that's what you said. 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 That's exactly what you said. So every single time I tell you something, every single time I tell you something that you said, every single time I tell you something that you said, you say you didn't say it. When all these people in this live stream can tell you right now that you said it. You can look at the recording of this live stream later and see that you said these things. I promise you, dude. I promise you, my man. That's what you said. You said I was justified. Dude, I said you could go back and watch yourself. You can go back. You can cope. You can go back. You can go back and watch. You can go back and watch yourself. Well, if you don't think that's what you said, if you don't think that's what you said, go back and watch this video. Okay? Yeah. Well, one sec. Oh man, I wish I could see the live stream right now, because I'm sure you guys are just like cracking up. Say that again. My bad. Hello?
Why don't you debate the fact that I said that amount of games throughout the lifespan of a console is not that many games?
I explained that situation to you.
I
explained it.
The whole spreading your money through multiple consoles.
I explained it.
Isn't a valid argument. Gamers do that.
Explained it.
And if like I have all three consoles.
I explained it.
And if one particular console only had 50 games on it throughout its entire life, it's worth me going out. I would have to say that's
I explained it. I explained it. I explained it.
No, you never did.
Did I not? I didn't explain it. Really? I didn't explain it?
You explained an excuse that I'm not buying. I am not buying.
You said you bought it. You said yourself you bought it. You said yourself. You said yourself that you bought it.
I know how many titles.
You said.
On the Wii, but there were a lot of.
You said yourself. You said yourself that you bought it.
I've been saying I am
You said yourself. You said yourself.
But I'm not buying it. You're still not arguing against that. You can't argue against that. You can't do it. You cannot do it, and you won't even try.
I've already handled it. I've already handled it. My money is spread between multiple platforms.
My money is spread out.
You mean the excuse? You mean the excuse you accepted? It's an excuse you accepted. It's an excuse you accepted.
You were trying to say, I just don't buy it.
You accepted that excuse, dude. That's the fact. That is the fact.
I accepted that I understood what you were saying.
And I asked you another question. First I asked if you understood. Then I asked if owning 50 games was justifiable, and you said yes. So I didn't only say, do you understand? I said
for the Wii, and you know why? Because there's not that many quality games. That's why it's justifiable.
But at that time, you said, at that time,
let's just skip that argument.
At that time, you said it was justifiable because of the reason I just listed. That's what you got. That's what you got to understand. I was talking about owning multiple platforms, and I said, am I justified by owning 50 Wii games because of the whole owning multiple platforms things? And you said yes. That is a fact. I said because of that. I said, am I justified? I said, am I justified?
You said it 10 times. You still haven't explained.
I said,
that's a valid excuse.
am I justified because of
I
that?
haven't said why that's a valid excuse. Especially since I'm telling you that I, along with many other people, have multiple consoles just like you.
I said,
not a lot of titles over 6 years of its life.
how many systems do you own?
I own all 3. And I own a PC, but the PC needs to be updated.
And do you just spread your love around to your other systems?
I have 360 games and I have Wii games.
How many Wii games do you have? And don't lie.
I got about 12 and a couple for the GameCube.
12?
Yeah, the rest of them were shit and I sold them. And I got more to come.
I could have swore you told me you had like 5 or something like that, but okay. But
Let me count them. Let me give you an exact number. I have 9 Wii games, 2 GameCube games, and I have.
Why are you counting GameCube?
Because I play them on the Wii. I've never.
Oh well, I played Twilight Princess on the Wii, and you told me I couldn't list Twilight Princess.
Okay, so I have 9 Wii games.
Contradiction. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, man. I shouldn't be laughing. I'm sorry.
Wait a minute. How is it a contradiction? I'm not trying to claim that. Oh, look at all these Wii.
No,
games.
you're counting GameCube games.
GameCube games are Wii games.
That's what you're saying.
I counted them right now. If you want the
So-
exact number of Wii games, it's 9 with about 4 coming.
So why'd you list the GameCube games? Why?
Because I never had a GameCube and I bought them to play on my Wii.
Okay, so why'd you list the GameCube games though? I said count your Wii. I said count your Wii games.
Who gives a fuck?
See, so you don't even know why you listed them yourself. I'll tell you why you listed the GameCube games, because you're trying to pass it off as if they count as Wii games. That's exactly what you just tried to do. Let's be honest. Let's be honest.
Oh yes, those are Wii games.
He's like, oh, let me go count my Wii games.
I just named them because I played them on the Wii for 1, and for 2 they're in the same stack.
And you tried to make them out to seem as if they actually count towards the amount.
As soon as you said, "Why are you naming Wii games?" I pretty much said.
I said, why are you?
As soon as you said, "Why are you naming GameCube games?"
Yeah.
I pretty much said, "Oh, I just named them because they're there."
No,
I'm trying to say, "Oh, you're contradicting yourself. You're saying those."
You said that after I asked you, and you couldn't come up with an answer.
Let's keep it real.
Let's keep it real. You said, let's go. You said, let's go count my Wii games, and then you counted the GameCube games with the Wii games because you tried to pass that off as, yeah, these GameCube games, they might as well count as Wii games too. That's exactly what you tried to do.
They're all the same shovelware, so you might as well count them.
Oh, see, so now you're contradicting yourself. So now you're saying, okay, yeah, they do count.
Because I physically counted them, and they're in the same stack, alright, bud?
But you said you're going to count your Wii games.
Make a difference.
But you
I'm
said,
not trying to pawn them off as fucking Wii games.
if you told me to count my 360 games, why in the hell would I list my PS3 games?
What?
If you told me to count my 360 games, why would I list my PS3 games with it if it was in the same stack? Why would I do that? Exactly.
You didn't just hear me say that they're in the same stack, and that's why I counted them. I did a physical count of them, and as soon as you said, "Wait, those are GameCube games," I said, "Oh, okay, 9."
No, you said that after a while. You said that after a while. You didn't immediately say, "Okay, well they don't count." You said that a couple of seconds later. You said that probably like 20 seconds later. You didn't. 20 seconds later.
You said it right the first time. A couple of seconds.
No, I think I corrected
See,
myself.
What you're not understanding is when you say go count your Wii games, I'm actually going to the stack that's in front of me.
And you count your GameCube games.
4, 5, 6, 7, 12.
So people
I say, oh yeah, 9.
so people we have a genius.
Real simple.
We have a genius here. I tell him to count his Wii games, and he counts his GameCube games along with the Wii games.
You just heard me say, look, there's 9 Wii games.
Let's give a round of applause to RXL.
Thank you. Owning Wii cards since 2006. Grown men playing child's toys. Thank you.
Yeah, Metroid's for children. Metroid's for children. Yes.
No, I have Metroid. It's not for children.
Oh, but Nintendo's all kiddie.
Haystack.
Nintendo's all kiddie though.
It is that needle I found in the haystack. The Wii's not kiddie. Only 99% of it is.
You will never find a quote from me. You will never find a quote from me saying that the Wii is not kiddie. You will never find that from me. I never said that the Wii wasn't kiddie. I never said it doesn't appeal to kids. You will never find that. So basically you're saying things.
People that play the Wii.
You're trying to argue me.
Something is wrong with them. Something is wrong with a grown man.
You're trying to
Club, a fake organization.
You're trying to argue an argument that I never even argued.
A child's toy, something that is made, not just that can be enjoyed by children or that appeals to children, but specifically made for kids.
Don't you? Wait! But you own and play a Wii, so I don't get it.
Soccer moms too.
But you
needed that fact, right?
What's the difference between me and you?
Oh, the thing is, and I've said this publicly, I bought it for my wife, which is why I own one.
But you played games on it. But you play games on it. So you must be a faggot. Something is wrong with you because you played the Wii by yourself before.
I get that 1%. 1% of games.
So you're a faggot.
Who said anything about faggot?
Let's not try to be smart here.
The people that celebrate.
Let's not be no. Let's not try to be sneaky here. You know good and well you think Wii gamers are faggots.
No.
Yeah, you game on the Wii, so you must be a faggot.
No, I never said that people that game on the Wii are faggots.
You said something's wrong. You said something's wrong with them. How old are you? How old are you? How old are you? How old are you?
These people that get that in the Edit Nation, faggots.
How?
Yep. The people that think, oh, Nintendo won. Did you see how many sales it had? It's the winner of the console wars. Faggots. Hold up, man. That exclusively game on the Wii, and they're not soccer moms for kids. Faggots. Faggots. Does that clear it up right there, brother?
My bad, man. I stepped out for a second.
Oh, okay.
My dad called me.
Just telling you who I thought were faggots.
Okay, but I remember earlier you said that there's something wrong with a grown man playing the Wii.
There's something. What I said was there's something wrong with a grown man celebrating the Wii.
Yeah. You said that now, but I'm saying your first statement.
No, I've been saying this.
No, your first statement was different.
I have a channel where I make it pretty clear.
Your first statement was different, though. Your first statement was if you just play the Wii, if you're a hardcore gamer on the Wii, something's wrong with you.
You're a faggot. If you only play the Wii, if you're a gamer and you only play the Wii, you're a grown man. You're a faggot.
Okay. There you go. There you go. Your first statement was different, but I'm glad you clarified that. So there's nothing wrong with me gaming on the Wii.
No, but if you're a member of End of Nation.
Okay, like it's weird.
I'm not gonna call you names, but you know these people that are damage controlling E3, like pretending we didn't all see that monstrosity, the Wii U.
You're not talking about me right now, so I don't know what you're doing.
You.
Yeah.
I was just saying they're a little light in the loafers. These people.
Yeah, but I mean, like the thing is, like But people like you and Heartache, y'all make it seem like something is wrong with playing the Wii. And then you guys say, well, no, nothing's wrong with it. And then you clarify that it's, just, these end-up guys who just go hard.
Oh, they're faggots.
Yeah, like,
Make
I'm
no
saying.
mistake about it.
I'm saying, man, like you gotta specify, because you come off as, if you play the Wii, you're a fag. You see what I'm saying?
I've always specified on my videos. Anybody that
Well, like, I mean, I'm not subbed or
watches my
anything.
videos, they know I have a Wii. They know why I have a Wii.
Well, I mean, yeah, I understand that, but you gotta look at it from, the random YouTuber point of view, where they see one of your comments on somebody's video. You see what I'm saying? You make it come off as, oh, something's wrong with you if you're 18 or older and you play the Wii. You see what I'm saying? You got look at it from a standpoint.
I ran into this guy. He was really excited for Pikmin. I mean, really excited. That guy's a faggot. That guy's a fucking faggot if he's that excited for fucking Pikmin. I just ordered Pikmin 2, right, for the Wii, because there's such a big hoopla about it. I want to see what the hell it is. It's like the last new IP that Nintendo's had. Because they're lazy and they keep
So you're saying, there's nothing wrong with playing these games. You just can't be like, just like honest nuts, basically.
Pretty much. I have no idea.
I understand what you're saying. Yeah.
But I've seen it.
But I mean, at the same time, you gotta think about it. A lot of them played Pikmin 1 and 2 when they were younger. So it's kind of cool to see Pikmin 3. You see what I'm saying?
I played Mario when I was younger, and I can get that nostalgia thing that people are into. But it can only go so far. I mean, to say, oh, Mario Galaxy, one of the greatest.
Well, yeah, the difference between Mario.
This generation.
Yeah.
Let's be for real.
The thing with Mario is, like, there's always a Mario game, like always. But like Pikmin, Pikmin has had this huge gap. So I can understand, this excitement, over Pikmin 3. See what I'm saying? Because a Pikmin game hasn't been seen in a long time, whereas Mario, is always around. You see what I'm saying?
If people were this excited for Metroid, I couldn't really call them a faggot. Even for Conduit, a game that I think sucks.
I understand what you're saying. Yeah.
But these guys these grown men with 3DSs, excited when Mario Kart came out, they're fucking, bro.
Hey, Mario Kart's a fun game, man.
That game is absolute trash.
You can't tell me you've never had fun on a Mario Kart game.
It's amazing. Yeah, on the SNES. It's amazing that these retards will say, "Look at Call of Duty, you're getting all the same maps." And then I can't wait till Mario Kart comes and half the maps.
I see I see completely what you're saying. Me myself, I couldn't get really excited for Mario Kart because it's Mario Kart. It's Mario Kart. Like that's pretty much all I have to say.
It's a game made for children. And Nintendo fans will bury their head in the sand talking about, oh no, it's real competitive and it's online, and no, it's a game for kids. That's why when you're in first place, you get nothing but fucking banana peels.
Mario Kart Wii, that was really tailored to kids.
See, there's the thing. I can draw that line of what's for kids and what's not, and a lot of these diehard Nintendo fanboys don't know where to draw that line, and I draw the line pretty accurately, and some of you don't. Some of you make videos damage controlling E3 like the Wii U. A lot of new consoles launched and the games didn't looked as good as the previous generation. Like, no, they didn't. I've never seen an SNES game with games on it that looked 8-bit.
Well, my specific example was, last gen to this gen.
And then I looked at last gen's games where you said you couldn't find, games that blew the previous gen's games out the water. Devil May Cry 4 was a launch game.
Was it?
Yep.
Let me see. And I haven't seen the game in a long time, so I'm gonna have to pull up footage of it. It probably looked really good at the time, but it probably looks like crap now, Devil May Cry 4 came out in 2008, man.
For the PS3?
Yes, you're way off.
That's where I just took a list. Why don't you give me a list of the launch games?
Of what, the PS3?
Yeah.
The only like noteworthy ones were like Resistance, and what was that? What was that RPG? It was that RPG nobody liked.
I played Resistance about a year ago, and I don't remember a PS2 game looking that good.
No.
Part of that is due to the HD, but that is a leap.
No. What you gotta understand is, I said name a game that blows lashing out the water. You see what I'm saying? Of course, the launch titles, noticeably look better, but Resistance didn't blow F-Zero GX out the water. You see what I'm saying?
They noticeably looked better.
Yeah.
The Wii U's do not.
Yeah, but my point was, and the thing is about I also said this in the video, with the Wii U, all of that was casual crap, and you shouldn't expect Nintendo Land to look better than Uncharted 3. You see what I'm saying?
Zombie U.
I explained that too. Did you watch the video?
Zombie U can be run on the 360 right now, and you won't know the difference.
I already explained that. Did you watch the video?
I pretty much just remember the part where you're like damage controlling for Nintendo, saying what were you saying? Like, what part of, when consoles launch, they don't blow away the last gen games out the water.
Well,
black on the PS2.
Nobody refuted that, so I guess it must be true.
I'm refuting that because all those launch games look better than PS2's best games.
They look better, but I'm saying blow out the water.
HD from SD? Huge difference.
But Resistance 1 did not blow F-Zero GX out the water.
What game did you say? I didn't hear you.
F-Zero GX or Chronicles of Riddick.
But MotorStorm did, and that just came just a mere few months later, did it not?
Wasn't a launch title.
But they showed games that weren't launch titles that are coming.
That was at the 2006 conference. Well, the same thing.
All the conferences afterwards.
Thing is, Nintendo could have easily showed games from their other studios. They just didn't. We could have easily saw a Retro Studios game, and it would have looked better than current generation. But it just wasn't shown. As a matter of fact, it's been pretty much confirmed that Retro Studios game was actually pulled from the showing.
Nintendo's pretty smart. They know this to little kids. They know they have a gullible audience.
That conference was smart because appealing to the casual gamer first will get the Wii U off the shelves quicker. Yeah.
No matter, third party still won't sell. They won't develop for it.
We'll see. They have the support now, but the question is, will they continue doing that?
They don't have the support now. Actually, the list of third party developer support is pretty much the same one they had for the Wii.
Well, they may have had, companies making games, but, they weren't necessarily getting the same games that the HD consoles were getting.
No, they'll get
No, so it's the same companies, yeah, but it's different games. You see what I'm saying?
I don't know. I mean, don't they have an Assassin's Creed for the DS?
Yeah, but not for Wii.
I mean, don't. It's not really getting much. I mean, they're getting Batman. They're getting 360 and PS3 ports.
Like I said,
the third. Are you buying a Wii U?
Yeah.
Why?
For the Nintendo exclusives.
But they're all kiddie.
But they're not. You're playing some ones that aren't kiddie right now.
What Nintendo exclusives do you plan on getting that are not kiddie?
The next Smash Bros, the next Metroid, any new IPs. Smash Bros is universal, dude. What are you talking about?
Not a game for kids. Universal is one of those buzzwords like family.
I don't think a game for kids would be at MLG. like Smash Bros has hardcore like $1,000 tournaments, dude. You realize that, right?
Yeah, when I think of hardcore games, I think of Smash Brothers.
So now kids games get played at tournaments. Man, like every game is just kiddie then. Shoot. Like I'm sorry, man, but like based off everything you're saying,
I could. The Smash Brothers have like these sophisticated combos like a Street Fighter.
No, but you can make your combos. That's the thing. It has the accessibility.
With complex input movements.
It has the accessibility to let kids and casuals play it, but at the same time, it has depth for hardcore gamers to get into it. You see what I'm saying? You can't deny that, man. Come on.
I mean, you just said it right there. It's simplistic enough for.
I said it's accessible enough, yes, but at the same time, it's deep enough for hardcore gamers to really dig their claws into. Hey, you're
Brothers, and it's like a mushroom fighting a green dinosaur and crap. It's in a cartoon world.
And it has.
Let's not get.
And it has tournaments. You can't get past. You can't get past appearance. That's your problem. You're stuck on appearance.
Mario Kart has tournaments too.
You're stuck on a online tournament set up by Nintendo. You're not going to go to GameStop and see no Mario Kart tournament.
I think I've seen some more when it launched, some GameStop tournaments for Mario Kart.
Well, that's understandable for a launch game. Brawl is played till this day. Melee was played until Brawl came out at tournaments.
Don't go knocking Mario Kart. I mean, it's sure accessible for children, but there's a lot of depth into that. That's fun. There's a lot of depth in it.
Not in Mario Kart Wii.
You gotta learn where to draw that line of what's for kids and what isn't. You know, I agree with a lot of points Hard 8 makes.
Not a good thing. I'm gonna tell you that right now. That's not a good thing.
He makes a lot of valid points.
Like,
let's say Nintendo wasn't kiddie. Let's say it was just a regular console. Don't you think as a regular console it was just a total fail?
What do you mean?
If you take the kiddie aspect, think of it as just one of the big three.
You're saying if you just like take all the quote kiddiness away?
Yeah. Don't
Well,
you think that console's a complete fail?
all that development time spent on the so-called kiddie games would just be spent on other games. Exactly.
Well,
It's not like Mario just disappears and those studios just stop. If Nintendo wasn't kiddie, then all those studios would be making different games. So that's really not an argument. And why can't I see my chat? You there?
yeah. Well, I don't know if that might be true from Nintendo themselves, but I don't see that with everybody else that makes games.
Okay, well, we're talking about Nintendo, so.
I mean, I'm talking about the console itself, not just like what Nintendo's making. My point
Well,
is
you said if the console wasn't kiddie, so that pretty much implies if Nintendo didn't make these kiddie games, right?
Yeah, but Nintendo didn't have these kiddie games on its console, the Wii console itself.
Well, yeah, like I said, the development time would just go to other games. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, for Nintendo, but not for these other companies.
Well, we're focusing on Nintendo.
These companies already have all this development time in real games, and they still didn't bring them to Wii.
Oh, what is this?
The point is, Nintendo's a fail of a console, that Wii.
Nintendo a fail of a console.
Yeah, and not just because it's kiddie.
Nintendo's not a console. The Wii is a console.
The Wii. I said Nintendo's a fail of a console. The Wii. You know what I'm saying. you got a PC. How do you go from a PC into a Wii?
Gameplay, man. If the gameplay is good, I'll play it.
The gameplay is too simplistic and easy. It's built around and for children.
Well, there you go. That's an opinion. It's as simple as that.
I think Nintendo is defrauding people.
Another opinion. I mean, it's cool for you to have the opinions, man, but it's like, you know, there's just really no point of throwing them. You know. You got
What do you feel about grown men like Black Baron, and they're really excited?
You mean my son?
Your son, Black Baron. Nobody really wants to answer this, but did they really leave End of Nation, or don't they just kind of grow up? Don't they kind of grow out of being so into Nintendo?
No, End of Nation. I mean, it does have to do with, you know, being in Nintendo, but I didn't leave just because I stopped being into Nintendo.
What was it? Just because they became such a joke?
Because it became so freaking radical.
But they have become a joke. Can you not?
Yes. I was the first person to say that. That's why I left almost a year ago now. I forgot it's summer now. I left last July. It's about to be July.
You got a 3DS?
Yeah.
Oh man. I seen the sale on GameStop, right? You get the 3DS, and it comes with a battery, and it comes with a free game, like either Pilot Wings or fucking Steel Diver. So I'm like, maybe I'll go check it out. And I went to GameStop, and they showed me the actual 3DS.
Pilot Wings and Steel Diver, no. No.
Well, it's free. It doesn't matter. I'm pretty much getting it just for NES, games for ROMs, because I hate playing them on the phone with the touch.
Don't you want to play Resident Evil?
No, that game is garbage, especially on the 3DS.
You didn't like it?
I hate Resident Evil games.
Oh, okay.
They're
Do you like?
You can't move while you're shooting. You're substituting horrible partner AI for actual enemy AI.
Do you like Kingdom Hearts?
No.
Dang, dude.
My wife does. She's into that.
You don't like a lot of things that people generally like. I mean, that's cool. That's fine.
Well, I don't let things like Metacritic or sales, influence what I like.
Same here, man. It's just a coincidence that I enjoy games that tend to have good scores, but at the same time, I also enjoy the RPG Cross Edge, which is an exclusive PS3 RPG, and that game has like a 50 on Metacritic. So I don't let scores determine what I do either. It's less than that. It's like a 40 something.
I think it's like a 30 or 20.
It's not a 30 or a 20. I could have swore it was a 50. Let me see.